Thank you for joining us on day one of NANOG 84. My name is Kat Karinsky. I am the chair of the NANOG Program Committee. I'll be the session moderator for this morning's presentation, and now it's time to get started. Yay! Joining me on stage this morning are Tina Morris and Josh Snowhorn. You're going to come up here? Come on up. The three of us will be opening the conference this morning. Tina is the chair of the NANOG Board of Directors and also a technical business developer at Amazon Web Services. Josh is founder and CEO of Quantum Loophole. No stranger to NANOG, this is the 10th time that Josh has been the host sponsor of a meeting. Today we're happy to have him provide a welcome message as the NANOG 84 host sponsor. I'll be speaking at the end of the opening. In addition to my program committee role, I'm also a senior network engineer at Apple. Tina, please officially kick us off for NANOG 84.
Welcome, everybody. This is our second in-person meeting back since the pandemic started, and really happy to see the room full of friendly faces. We also have a virtual attendee group that we're really glad to be able to do the hybrid and in-person options for those that can't travel at this time. We have more than 400 people registered to attend in person. Last night when I looked at it, we were over 444 people, I believe, which is amazing. And I'm so happy to have people make the effort to come here. I'm also really proud that we have 175 people online watching today, and that we can offer a great program for the people that can't travel for various reasons. I'm going to go over a few things that we're doing to keep our community safe. We are requiring everybody in attendance to be fully vaccinated for COVID-19, encouraging the use of masks whenever practical, and we'll be going over the code of conduct a little bit today, and also introducing the concept of an ombudsman at our NANOG conferences going forward. A code of conduct is important. It makes our attendees feel safe. It allows us to share ideas and work in a community environment that's very important to all of us. We do not allow aggressively pushing your services, distribution of alcohol other than sponsored events for legal reasons, audio and video recordings of the sessions where recordings are not permitted. In those cases, that's because the speaker has requested as such, or engaging in any illegal activity, obviously. Offensive verbal comments, sexual orientation, gender identity, any comments regarding those things are not acceptable. Sexual images, deliberate intimidation, and demeaning or disruptive behavior, all unacceptable. We want a very welcome, an open community for all to feel comfortable coming to the mic and expressing their ideas. More of that, no unwanted sexual attention or appropriate physical contact. These should all be givens in our community, and we want everybody to feel very welcome at the socials as well as in this environment. The code of conduct applies to all of our events. We are introducing a NANOG ombudsman. And the idea of this will be that they will be a designated impartial person at our meetings. They can provide conflict resolution and be neutral. The idea being that they will, if somebody were to experience some sort of bias, slight comment, something that they did not feel comfortable dealing with or wanted to report, they could go to this neutral person. But more than that, the ombudsman is going to give us feedback on our meetings and what we could be doing to improve and make our environment more diverse and welcoming. So we will be introducing the actual ombudsman during the community meeting as well. They cover harassment, group conflicts, confusion around policies, procedures, ethical dilemmas, bullying, all of these things. And we will have an ombudsman at all the meetings going forward. I want to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Our sponsors are the reason we can have this meeting. They're the reason we can have an organization at all. They are critical to doing all that. Quantum Loophole was able to stick out throughout the pandemic and sponsor us for this meeting. We wouldn't be here without them. Thank you. Our premium sponsors are Aaron, AWS, Telstra, and VeriSign. Beer and gear sponsors listed below. I've learned in past I'm not going to be reading every name because it got me in trouble before. It's just too long. We appreciate all the sponsors. The Monday breakout sponsors, Monday lunch sponsors, Tuesday break sponsors, Tuesday lunch sponsors, Women in Tech sponsor, and Virtual Expo sponsor. The Virtual Expo is open to everybody online or in person. You can also visit it. Please give it a chance, take a look around the virtual booths. And we have a meeting fellowship sponsor of Internet Society. Service sponsors. And now I'd like to welcome our host sponsor, Josh Snowhorn, to give some opening remarks. Thank you.
Hi, guys. So welcome to Austin. This is my hometown, so I got to drive about 10 minutes down, 15 minutes down to come here and stay in a hotel, which is great. I've hosted, as Kat said, 10 times. It used to be really hard. We'd work down in Miami, I think was the first time. We would have to spend 2 weeks busting our butts, pulling fiber or doing craziness, trying to get all ready. It's really kind of easy now, but it's still an honor to do this and host things. I made a video because I didn't know if I was going to get COVID or not. So we made a nice video and I got to talk in my calm Josh voice, which I don't do very well. So I had a big microphone and I slowed it all down. But what you're about to see is pretty neat. It talks about Quantum Loophole. This is my time to do unabashed marketing because I'm the sponsor and you're stuck. Code of conduct aside, you get the video. I will give you one little caveat that what you're about to see and talk about in our campus is pretty neat, but to equate the amount of power we're bringing to the site, it's 3,000 megawatts. That's equal to all of the energy produced on a daily basis in the city of Austin. So this is the 10th biggest city in the US, all the energy on a daily basis. That's how big our single campus is. But guys, it's movie time. Everybody pay attention. You get to watch a movie.
Greetings and welcome everybody to NANOG in Austin, Texas. I'm proud to be the host of NANOG for more than 10% of all NANOG that have ever existed, and with multiple companies, truly being a benefit to the ecosystem that we give back to every day. Thank you for attending. It's really a good thing that we can do this together. Telling everybody about Quantum Loophole is, I'm sure, important to you, and I'm sure you have a lot of questions about what we're doing. Quantum Loophole is really a provider of the elements of the data center business. We sell land to support data center infrastructure and services. A hyperscaler or a multi-tenant company could come along, or even an enterprise or government entity could come along and acquire a piece of land on our campus up in Frederick, Maryland, which is located just 20 miles from the Ashburn ecosystem. I think we all kind of agree the center of interconnection for our community in North America. We will occasionally build a powered shell if somebody really wants it, but to clear, we are not in the multi-tenant data center business. We don't build buildings and operate data centers. That's really for others to do. We provide those elements, the pieces that people really need. Energy services are essential to what people do in our business and on our campus. Being a former Alcoa aluminum smelter, this site has access to massive transmission scale power. We believe at full scale, we'll be able to do up to 3,000 megawatts on the campus. Obviously, depending on the density that can go in there with liquid cooling and other future technologies. We have entitlement to deliver up to 28 million square feet of data center space on the campus with the entities and other data center providers who acquire land from us. It's our job to make sure that we can support them with energy services. It is also essential to look for future technologies for backup power services. Diesel generators at the scale of what we're doing and what we're building really aren't tenable. Moving away from fossil fuels and being in transmission scale power allows us to work towards a future technology for battery storage or even compressed air energy storage or pumped hydro and other variations of that. That means we can start really focusing on the future of the internet and being completely sustainable. Another large thing that Quantum Loophole does is water services. We have up to 7 million gallons of gray water that runs adjacent to our campus on a daily basis. This is treated sewage water that dumps into the Potomac River every day. As population growth will continue in the area, that will grow to over 11 million gallons a day. That means we have access to cooling water that is recycled instead of using traditional drinking water from a farm or irrigation water. We can actually use treated gray water that would simply go out to the river, and use that to cool the data centers, and also in dealing with future liquid technologies and other things like that. It is a huge advantage and a benefit for sustainability goals that the industry has. One of the largest things we're doing, and something that is completely different in our industry, is building the largest fiber backbone that has ever been created. Our Q-Loop platform has the capacity of over 200,000 strands of fiber. It's a 43-mile ring linking our campus to the Ashburn ecosystem to the south. We crossed the Potomac River twice. Those river crossings are getting underway, and construction will start around the April 2022 timeframe. Very large, very deep borings that cross the river. Our entire ring is built to Milcom standards with a depth of at least 56 inches. We have 33 2-inch conduits going in place. On campus for interconnection, we have 2 network centers. We'll be doing Telecent automated robotic cross-connects. Those cross-connects will be able to be delivered in 2 minutes without a human being touching it. Even more exciting is that those Telecent machines can be located in various buildings throughout the Ashburn or Data Center Alley area and linked into our campus. We could simultaneously do a cross-connect, let's say across 20 different interconnected buildings, using these machines, and it would only take 2 minutes. You have 1,000 cross-connects with some variability on batching, and you're talking about 2,000 minutes to deliver those without a human being ever touching them. All done simultaneously without truck rolls. Very exciting and a big change for our industry. On our campus, we have multiple distribution rings going back to the network centers to the point where 120 conduits are coming up in a single point into the network centers. Each of these network center campuses are over 5 acres and will facilitate mass scale interconnection for folks on the campus. We also distribute water, sewage, potable water, and non-potable water, non-potable being the gray water that I mentioned before, and power distribution via the multiple substations on the campus. True innovation and change, bringing scale and planning for the next 10 to 15 years for the data center industry. This is the first campus Quantum Loophole's doing. You can look for us in markets like Dallas, Chicago, Silicon Valley, and all these campuses will be 1,000-acre plus as we continue into the future. Anyway, thank you everybody, and enjoy yourselves at NANOG. I hope you have a great time.
Isn't movie time fun? That was like the best time in school. Anyway, guys, thanks for attending. I hope you enjoyed the movie and my slow voice, which is really hard to do.
And now for a brief program overview. So again, my name is Kat Gorinsky, and I'm the program committee chair for NANOG. Like Josh, I'm also an Austin local. I've lived here the past 6 years, so I had a 20-minute lift last night, which was kind of nice. So this NANOG, we have 20 peer-reviewed presentations, including our keynotes. There are currently 26 members on the NANOG program committee. We moderate the program sessions, and the networking sessions. We are a self-governing board-appointed group. Here's the list of all of our program committee members. Since it is 26 long, I'll give you a brief moment to skim through that. If we have any program committee members in the room, can you please stand or raise your hand real quick? Quick wave. There we go. We are currently accepting nominations for new program committee members if you'd like to join us. Our PC members serve 2-year terms, and about half of them term out every year. So we are looking for some new folks to join our group. We help recruit, review, and decide on talks for future conferences. For more information, if you're interested in applying to nominate yourself, you can go to nanog.org/nominations. And nominations will close at Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. to allow the board to have time to review and make appointments later this week. Some additional program chat tips for our virtual attendees. You folks here can also use the virtual platform to engage in the chat room. Regular chatters should go and chat. If you have a question for one of our many speakers over the next few days, you can use the Q&A tab and submit questions. So even an in-person attendee can use the Q&A tab, especially if you're nervous about staying in front of the microphone. This is a great way to still ask your question, whether you're remote or in person. And you can use the help tab if you're having any technical issues with the platform. On the website, we also have both the agenda and the presentation materials, which includes the slides of our presenters. So feel free to check that out throughout the conference. This morning, we had a newcomers orientation breakfast. This was re-recorded, so if you weren't able to attend in person, it will be on our YouTube channel in the next week or two. We have a Women in Tech lunch tomorrow, which is open to all, not just women. I always remind everybody of this because every time somebody says they didn't know they couldn't go and they weren't a woman, everybody can come. Please join us on Tuesday for the Women in Tech lunch. And if you're virtual, there will be a Zoom session that you can join for that as well. Wednesday lunch will be on your own. And if you're attending virtually during the lunches, we will be streaming the Internet Innovator interviews during those lunch hours for you to watch. We are doing lightning talks again. We did not do these in Minneapolis, and then we obviously did not do them during the virtual conferences. So this is the first time that lightning talks are back in the last couple of years. So if you have a brief 10-minute lightning talk you'd like to present, please submit those abstracts no later than 3:30 on Tuesday, Central Time. Those are for in-person, so this is one of those where we will not be doing a virtual for that, because you'll need to be able to come up on stage on Wednesday afternoon. The PC will send out notifications by 6 p.m. on Tuesday if you're accepted for your lightning talk. And if you can please make sure your profiles have cell phone numbers, it's a lot faster for us to notify you by text than waiting for you to check your email. Because if you're chosen, your slides are due by noon on Wednesday. So you have a half day there to get your slides together if you're going to do a lightning talk. And then again, those will occur Wednesday from 5:15 to 5:45 p.m. right before the close of the conference. And then another reminder, our call for presentations are always open. So not just for the next NANOG, but you can actually submit for up to 2 or 3 NANOGs from now. So if you know already that you're not going to be able to come to Montreal and you want to maybe submit for next year, October, you can submit for any of those. You do not have to only submit for the upcoming one. If you've got a plan, we can plan early and work with you and really fine tune your presentation with you for additional NANOGs. And then again, our feedback on the surveys is so important, especially as we get back to doing in-person conferences, but while still keeping this virtual component alive. We really want to make sure that we're giving the best experience to both types of attendees. So please, I read all of these at the end, and so does the rest of the PC. Please submit the surveys every day if you have the time. It really helps us improve everything going forward. Surveys can be found at nanog.org/surveys. There is a daily survey each day for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. There's also a hackathon survey if you're involved in that. And the surveys remain open until the close on Friday, February 18th. So you have a few days after you leave here to finish those. And please enjoy our program.